Hello, everyone. This is Deacon Paul, and this is the Gospel Reflection for Thursday, March 26th. And today's Gospel is from the Gospel of John, and it's chapter 5, verses 31 to 47. Again, that's John chapter 5, verses 31 to 47. And today's Gospel follows upon the Gospel from 2 days ago, where Jesus healed a paralytic in Jerusalem on the Sabbath. And that outraged the Jewish authorities. And in today's gospel, we have almost a sample of what's to come with Jesus' trial. This is almost like a mock trial where Jesus is defending himself and calling forward the witnesses on his behalf, as was the norm in their trials. And as his witnesses, Jesus calls John the Baptist, then he refers to his own works, and then finally he refers to the scripture. But I think the key verse in the entire passage today is verse 42, where Jesus turns things on his accusers and says to them, "I know you do not have the love of God in you. I know you do not have the love of God in you." Now, obviously, we're at a time of serious disruption and disorientation. All of our routines have been turned on their heads to varying degrees. I'm currently working from home, for example, and I know many of you, the disruption has been much more severe than that. And along with that disruption and the loss of our normal routine and the loss of our normal touchstones in our lives, whether it's everything from attending Mass to visiting with friends or exercise class or work, whatever it might be, that disruption leads to a tremendous amount of fear, a tremendous amount of anxiety and uncertainty, and both collective and obviously personal. And all of us are anxious about, am I going to be okay through this? And I know I've felt pangs of that in the last few days more powerfully than previously, as this thing becomes much more real and much more immediate for us here in Kingston. And obviously for our parish, it's huge because we've got a very vulnerable parish community. We've got many older people and many people with other health challenges. So it's like there's this dark and heavy, ominous cloud that hangs over us at this time. And I think the question today, for us to reflect upon based on the quote I just read of Jesus is, how can we feel all those things? How can we don't want to pretend it's not there. We don't want to pretend the fear and the anxiety is not there. But how can we feel those fears, feel those worries, and yet not be dominated by them, so that people from outside of our circles would know that the love of God is in us, so that Jesus doesn't make that accusation against us. So how can we still demonstrate the love of God within us in spite of our fears, our anxieties, and our worries? And I'd like to close with a line from the closing prayer from this morning's Liturgy of the Hours. I think it speaks to today's situation, and that is, "May the love of God within us be seen in what we do and lead us to the joy of Easter." God bless you.